All right, boys. How's life? Cinders, do you still have the COVID?
Yep. But now I don't feel like there's like a whole ass person sitting on my chest. I feel like there's like a quarter of a person sitting on my chest.
Just
Not in a good way.
a little person? That's the correct way of saying it nowadays, I guess. I can't say midget, so just a little person.
But you
Which
just
one's
did.
which one's more offensive, a little person or a fourth of a person?
I don't know.
I
Like,
mean, the fourth of the person could just be somebody you chopped into pieces.
that's pretty fucked up, but I agree.
Or he's a quarter
But
of a man.
it's not
You're
discriminating though.
Yeah, it's
As
not.
long as you chop up everybody equally.
But what if somebody already has a missing arm or something? How does that work?
You can't discriminate. You got to chop them up too.
Well, that's fucked. I dig it. All right. So, the first thing I have that popped up here, we got former NFL player Kevin Ware is indicted in girlfriend's murder. So, I would
and
like,
who's that guy?
I don't know, some guy named Kevin Ware who plays,
And
oh,
why the fuck do I care?
you're not supposed to care. I just want to know why the fuck you would be in the NFL, make millions of dollars, and then have a need to kill a girlfriend. That's my biggest question.
Here's my question: Did he go straight from? Did he go straight from high school football team to college football to the NFL?
Possibly. I don't know. You can look up his name, Kevin Ware, Ware.
He probably has no concept of reality and the fact that he's good at sports and has been fed
Or
steroids since he was 16. He doesn't. He probably, I don't know him personally, but a lot of people like that, they don't even like understand the position they're in or like appreciate it. A lot of times, they just kind of glide through
I
and
agree.
kind of egotistical and a little bit narcissistic a lot of the time.
I mean, I would assume so. If your whole job you've been making millions of dollars for getting a pigskin thrown at you and then running into people head first, like I don't know. I guess maybe in that life you're just like, ah, fuck it, I'll just kill this lady. I don't fucking know, dude.
or the entire time she was faking their entire relationship and capturing video of them fucking. And then she's like, I want fucking $500,000 or I'm going public with this shit.
Oh, he
And
would give her
he just
500,000.
fucking lost it.
I mean, that's kind of what happened with Kobe Bryant back in the day. I don't know if you guys remember that shit, but like he got caught in a hotel with some lady and she was like, "Oh, he raped me." But he didn't rape her. And then they did like a rape test on her and they found like 15 different types of semen in her. So it was like, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, that's a prostitute. And she's using this to get against him. And he had a wife at the time and all he did was turn around and bought her jewelry over it. Like,
she belongs to the streets.
we don't love these hoes, all right? But
Them hoes don't love us.
well, that's fair. That's a fair assessment. All right, we got police. 3 children, mother found dead in Connecticut home.
Why is this all about murder, man?
So far, I don't know. I don't write
Like,
the news.
exactly. That's all the news is who died, when, where, how, why. Like,
This doesn't
I
even
don't
explain
care about
who.
people fucking dying. Someone died right now.
Well,
And wait, hold on.
another person dead.
Somebody else just died. Like,
I mean, this doesn't even explain anything. It's just like, oh, some people died in a home. Oh, okay. Thanks,
happens.
news. Yeah, that does happen. It doesn't even explain if it was a murder or anything. Like, the fuck. Anyways.
The
All
dog
right.
killed him.
It could be. Yeah, I mean, just fill in the blanks. Like, they just. I don't know. Next, we got Kansas government will cover the cost to install solar if you live here. That's an ad. That's nonsense and bullshit. Where do I sign up?
I mean, if they really would cover it, that's a fucking good deal. But
I
doubtful.
highly doubt
they
it.
will cover it, but they will only cover 5% of expenses.
Yeah,
And they will charge a 12% service fee.
right. Basically, I mean, even at that, like, I have issues because like there's all this like, oh, we need to use all solar for everything, And the truth of the matter is, solar panels are so like if you are to get rid of them and toss them after they go
No,
bad,
you want to talk about solar panels? Where the fuck did the shit go that was like fresh on the market 10 years ago when they were first coming out with solar panels, where you buy a roll and it's like a roll of solar panel material and you just
yeah,
roll it out, chop it, hook some wires up to it, fucking roll it out a second time, move it up, roll it out, move it up, roll it out. It is essentially shingles on your roof and solar panels at the same time.
that's
What the fuck
dope.
happened to that shit?
It was too effective, so they can't make money on it.
Right?
I
Like,
mean,
well, we're putting all these shingle companies out of business, and my friend is making good money on that, so I can't do that.
well, wasn't it Tesla that was doing something like that? It was Eli or Eli. What the fuck,
Eli,
Elon? Eli, Eli Manning.
elongated ego.
Yeah, that guy.
Elongated penis.
Penis.
A penis.
Well,
But yeah, fucking, he was just coming out with tiles that acted like solar panels
which is
that
kind of the
worked like
same.
a shingle.
Yeah,
This
kind of
was like
same
a
concept.
industrial cheap as fuck roll of shit. You just buy it cheap as fuck and roll it out, and you got solar energy. Not some expensive ass Tesla shingle or some shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing is that shit is so like I've heard that it is super like as soon as you toss all that kind of shit, it pollutes worse than any kind of pollutant you could throw out almost. Like it's terrible.
I mean, it runs off of batteries, and batteries are not free to make. Like, it
Well, not just
takes a
that.
lot of batteries to fucking store power from a fucking solar panel.
It's true, but it's just actually bad for the environment. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's good
But
for
if
the
we're gonna
environment."
start talking about batteries, what about the fucking diamond nuclear batteries that Elon Musk is saying will hit the market next year?
Dude, you want to talk about
Liar.
yeah, what a fucking liar. I mean, what did he say about the Cybertruck? And that shit is still not out. Like that shit was
That shit's
dope.
stupid.
What did he
Nobody's
say
gonna buy
about
that
going to
shit.
Mars? Fucking
Yeah.
liar.
I want
Okay, I'll
to
give him leeway on that one. He went to fucking space.
kind of.
Like,
He launched a fucking Tesla into space, and it's
what a
still floating around in space. He just
what a
fucking launched
Chad.
it with no like agenda, no target, just fucking there's just a fucking Tesla floating through space.
Well, you can't really fault him. He could do it, and he did it.
Right?
I mean,
I would do it too.
yeah.
Like, look what I made and look where I put it.
I put my fucking car in space, bitch.
I wonder how many times it's been hit by like flying space debris at this point. Like,
Probably none, to be honest.
Yeah, it's
To
a
be
lot of
honest,
nothingness out there.
there are a whole lot of nothing and a whole little
Especially
bit
when you
something.
get away from planets, like there's no gravity around anywhere, so everything that existed got pulled somewhere. Like there's nothing out there. You get close to planets, there's shit everywhere, but fucking out there in nothingness, there's nothing. Like
well, what do you?
Even if you're in like, oh, you go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, but I mean, is it now even getting more open because supposedly the universe is expanding slowly? So like,
Well, not at a pace that we'll ever see.
yeah, that's fair, fair assessment. But isn't the?
Since we were fucking monkeys walking around beating each other with fucking sticks, there's no difference.
I mean, I still
It's
do that, but
you fling poo at people.
hell yeah, dude. We call
Okay.
that Saturday. I like
yeah,
how,
you must not have been there for that last weekend. It was entertaining as fuck.
yeah, dog. Um, I like how we went into this deep conversation about shit, and there was just an ad. Okay. Mention in reversal agrees to quick action on climate and tax plan. Fuck that guy. Like, I don't care what party you're from. That guy's a piece of shit. Like, that's
So they're gonna take more of my paycheck.
right.
That's all I heard.
Yeah. Like, oh, let's use everybody's money towards this shit that we don't even know what we're fucking doing. Like, oh, well, and that's the thing is if you ask them like, oh, a climate plan, well, how much is it going to change the climate if you actually use all these billions of dollars towards it? Well, I don't know. That's my biggest thing is like if you're going to use it, at least have a projection of what you're going to be able to actually accomplish with it.
You can't
But
accomplish anything with government. People, industry, and people have to change how things work. Government can't do it because no matter how much money they have or throw at it, it's never going to be a drop in the bucket compared to what
I
a
I
global
saw
industry
an
is.
interesting post the other day. A dude was like, you know what, fucking, we should not allow billionaires. Like, you should be able to fucking get $999 million, and at that point, you can no longer make any more money. All of that money fucking gets donated to shit that where we need fucking money. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't
Well,
make
the issue,
any sense to have that much, but go ahead. I don't know.
my issue with that is it would be good if that money went somewhere better, but if if you can say that you can't have this amount of money, you're saying in effect that any amount of money, as long as it's agreed upon, is too much. It'll never stay at a billion. And not only that, that's kind of like a
that's fair, but
practical
you gotta
argument.
put a cap on it somewhere. Like,
Well,
there's
in my
there's a
mind,
handful of people that have the entire world's wealth, and what the fuck are they doing with it? Just making
well,
more. Like,
in my mind, the problem is that in an actual free market economy, there's not going to be that because, well, you intellectual property, having patents and copyrights on things, being able to make something at a factory and go, look, do you see how I put this together and the way I shaped this? You actually aren't allowed to make that with your own shit. Only I'm allowed to. It's
and
kind
I'll
of fucking
s-
weird.
and I'll sue
Makes
you
not
if you
much
do.
doesn't make much sense to me, but really the government intervening in the free market is what causes things like Amazon and other, large companies to be able to just keep growing and growing because they can literally use the government
I mean,
uh to stamp out their competition and laws. Basically, I don't think that you get massive corporations and billionaires in an economy where there's competition. I think that they're kind of artificial.
well, I think you're
they go
right.
hand in hand. They're both a cog in the same wheel. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you're correct though. I mean, if you need a good
they
example,
rely on each other.
Yeah,
look no further than COVID. Like that hit mom and pop shops because they were shutting down everything. Oh, you're not allowed to work. And where the fuck did everybody order all their shit? Amazon. Like that's all they could do because nothing else was open, or Walmart or whatever else could get by and say, "Oh, well, we did all this so we can stay open." But mom and pop shop over here, they can't keep up and they can't keep with the rules, so we got to shut them down until this shit blows over. Yeah, I mean, you're correct. That's kind of what happens. So, I don't know. That's my
yeah.
thought.
No, I agree. It's corporations, large companies, Walmart, Amazon, they're effectively part of the government at this point, and they wouldn't exist
Yeah,
without them. And the
exactly.
government wouldn't be where it is
The
without
government would
them.
not have nearly as much funding if they did not fucking comply with Amazon's requests. Like,
Well, that's where you get lobbyists too, where it's like, "Hey, make sure that this is legal so we can get away with making more money." Like that's a
Yeah.
huge problem.
Or make
Huge
sure that
problem.
this is illegal, or don't let people
they're
do this.
literally all just criminals, and they're like, hey, I'm gonna pull this deal that gets us a shit ton of money, and if you do your part in it, I'm gonna cut you a share of the profits. Like, that is essentially what it is.
Yeah. Well, for
Right.
instance, the government always deals with large corporations, even if it's a small scale. If your city is using a big, say, national or multinational construction company to build buildings in a fucking city with, 1 million people, this is a fairly good sized city. Why aren't
Yeah.
they using a local one?
I mean,
Why
we're at
aren't they sourcing
600,000.
local materials? Huh?
Wichita's 600,000 people. A million is not far from that.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, the government always is doing things with corporations, big ones.
Yeah,
Yes.
Be-
I just gave
and
away our location. Sorry.
Oh no,
oh no,
Wichita.
they're gonna come to Wichita.
all
They're
all
gonna
zero
find you.
I'm going
viewers
to
of ours.
Wichita.
I'm gonna go look for somebody I disagree with in Wichita. I'll see how it works out for me.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm going to the south. I'm gonna knock
They
on their
won't even
door.
make it here. You have any idea how much boredom is in between here and like civilization?
Instant death.
They will get pulled over for no reason many times before they get to you.
Yeah, that's very true.
If they
Especially
don't blow their brains out from staring at cornfields all day.
Well, there's
But,
that, and the police will just be like, "Oh, are they from California? They got weed on them. Just pulled over. Done every time." Good old Bible
Well,
Belt.
You sound
what I
like you're
was
speaking from experience there.
Yeah, maybe.
what I was gonna say about like the ethics of that though, capping what people can have. In my view, the implication of it is that no matter how much money you have, it's not yours. You're
Yeah.
being allowed to have it. Because if at any point people can take your money and go, "You have enough. This the rest has to go somewhere else." None of your money is yours. You're
Right,
just
like
being allowed
uh,
to keep it.
the amount of
It
Right.
tax that fucking gets taken from shit. Like when I get a bonus from work, it's
Yeah.
like fucking 60% taxed. If
Yep.
you work more than 60 hours overtime, it's all going to taxes. Like
Yeah, and
they're like, yeah,
they
you can't make that much money. You got to give us all of that. Like, why the
yeah.
fuck did I even just work a 70-hour week then? Like,
Well, they do that with money in that sense of none of your money is yours. The government claims ownership of all of it because, well, if they can take it arbitrarily at a certain amount, then they could take more. They just don't.
Well,
So
technically
they,
no,
speaking,
we could be here talking about money all night though. Fucking
oh
yeah,
yeah,
like
it's
like
all.
banks get their money printed directly from the government. They print out the money and they ship it to the banks. And it's the projections that they are going to make in the next year. So the next year's worth of money that they're going to fucking make, the government just prints it up and sends it out. And it's not even actual money yet. Like you haven't worked the hours to fucking make that money fucking exist yet. It's fictional money that has no value that is being fucking printed and sent to locations until you fucking earn that money, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, here's some of that money." Like,
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
not only that, all the money is valueless.
Well, that and Joe Biden is just
especially
over
now
here
that it's a
like
piece
printer
of
goes
paper.
brrrr, like
Well, it's also valueless in the sense that you used to be able to cash it out for material goods. You used to be
Right,
able to
like
mhm.
cash it out
gold.
for gold.
It was all backed for gold, so you could go get equal amounts of paper for gold. But now that is not the case. You
I
can't get shit with your money for gold.
I
And
think
fucking
Andrew Jackson had it right because he was the one that fought the Federal Reserve and said, "Hell no, we're not doing this anymore. It's backed by gold." And then shortly afterwards, they were like, "Yeah, never mind. Well, fuck that guy. We're going back to fictional worth." So
Well,
we'll put them on our $20 note
yeah,
it's
well,
more valuable for them if the backing of the bill is
for
government
whoever he's on. I
violence.
don't fucking know.
it is. I think it's a 20. I could be wrong.
Basically, they went from backing it with gold and it being a consensual trade where you go, I'll take your notes and then I'll use those. And then if I want gold, I can come get it. Now I'm going to participate in
And
your system because I have
that
no
was also
choice.
the point behind coins. Is coins also had a value as a metal, like fucking
Right. And
whether it
now
was copper or silver or gold or whatever the fuck. You had the
now it's
coin.
just plated.
Fucking
It's
yeah,
all
like
plated.
there's no copper in a penny hardly at all. Like,
Yeah.
and with
Exactly.
all the copper fucking shit going on, I wouldn't be surprised if they fucking get rid of copper altogether when it comes to pennies. But the
Oh,
crazy
yeah.
thing about this all is none of that money, most of the money in the world doesn't physically exist.
I know.
It's
I
all
was just
fucking
about to say
numbers in an
that.
account somewhere. Like,
Yeah.
this is how many dollars you have in your account. Fucking none of that money exists. It's just numbers in a machine somewhere. Like,
It's literally 98% online at this point, and I think it's only like 2% is actual physical money that you can touch. So
fucking dumb.
not just that, but also one thing to cap this all off is every single dollar that you touch or is in your bank account is owed back with interest to the Federal Reserve. So literally money is debt. Most literally, every
Yep.
single dollar you touch is debt and it's owed back, and that's how they enslave every single person that exists. It's like, oh, well, you have to give us work for you to even have that in the
If
first
you
place.
want to go
so-
down that rabbit hole,
Oh yeah.
the
I don't know if I want to
countries
go too
that
far,
don't
but
the countries that don't follow that plan that you just said are the ones that we have been at war with in the past 50 years.
thank you. Very true. Very good.
Yeah.
Good. What am I trying to say?
If there isn't a central bank that owns all of the currency in that country, and if you don't have this money, you're not buying shit.
Yep.
If you don't have that that system implemented, fucking, you will be fucking fought against. That's why
Basically.
North Korea is such a problem.
If you have bananas, we
That's
want.
why Cuba was a problem.
I was about to say, you got bananas? I want them nanas.
All I know is if we're gonna keep having these fucking conversations, I'm gonna have to buy another box of cigars because
yeah, I need
this
a
is
cigar.
this is a cigar conversation.
I know. All right, so I'm going to the next thing. We got family sues Sesame Street theme park after racial discrimination allegations. What? I don't know. That's what it
I
says.
didn't know Sesame Street was still a thing.
I didn't know they had a theme park. Like, oh, it's called Sesame Place, apparently. That's what I can see in the picture. And it's just
right down the street from Sinsemilla Street.
So, ooh.
Or Sinsemilla, whatever it was.
Yeah. Your boomer is showing. Yeah.
Oh, shit. I gotta put a shirt on.
Yeah, no kidding. But yeah, how is that racist? I mean, you're talking about a big fucking yellow bird and oh my goodness, he just wouldn't allow me on that ride because I'm black. Like, what is going on?
I saw something interesting about Charlie Brown the other day. Apparently there's a black character in Charlie Brown.
Okay. Well,
and
yeah. I can't remember his
forget
name.
the dude's name, and I'm gonna botch it if I try to say it, but the guy that wrote Charlie Brown, fucking
Right.
This guy was gonna add, like, at the time there was like race wars and shit in the US, whatever, but at the time he's like, I'm gonna fucking, he got recommended like by a friend, like, hey, you should include a black person, more races, not all white, and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking do it. And Disney or whoever the fuck was in charge at the time is like, no, it's not gonna fucking happen. We're shutting you down. And he's like, no, I will quit writing this shit if you don't fucking do this. So they did it.
More power to him. I mean, I don't see why that would be an issue whatsoever. I do have a question though. Which of the Sesame characters do you think is the most racist? Now we're talking the big stuff, boys.
Which Sesame Street character is the most racist?
I don't even know all the Sesame Street characters, especially modern time Sesame Street characters.
Well, yeah, no, we're just talking old school, bro.
You want to talk racism? It's fucking Cookie Monster. He's racist against cookies.
I mean, fair.
He loves to eat cookies.
I would say Oscar the Grouch, obviously. Dude lives in a fucking trash can. He's just
no, that is the least racist person out there.
He lives in a fucking garbage can.
He's been around the block. He knows his shit. He's talked to everybody, every race and color. Like, he's an asshole to all of them. Yes, he fucking hates all of them equally. But he is not racist.
Okay. All right. Next,
Cookie Monster's racist.
He loves to put other races in his mouth. That's not racist.
So now we got legendary NFL quarterback blasts former president Donald Trump. Okay. Which legendary NFL quarterback, for one? What's up with all this NFL bullshit? Secondly, who is he, like the last person in line to actually do that? Because that's like every single person on earth at this point blasts former President Donald Trump. Like, the fuck? Who cares?
Dump.
You said Donald Trump, and it made me think of something I read the other day.
Oh no!
Completely off subject. I don't give a fuck what your question was, but
who cares?
So, Spy Magazine, back in the day, sent to all of the richest people in the U.S. that they could fucking get a hold of. They sent 13-cent checks to a bunch of random fucking rich, wealthy people. And they wanted to see who was greedy enough to cash a 13-cent check. And 98% of them did not get cashed.
Okay.
2 of them were cashed. One was by an arms dealer, and the other was by Donald Trump.
Okay,
13-cent check.
Yeah, but that's, I mean,
Like, I have thrown shit away like that, where it's like, it costs you more money to send me this piece of paper than I am getting right now. Fuck you. I don't want this.
yeah, but at the same time, I mean, how are we going to just say that was Donald Trump? Because you know damn well it was just a check and they put it in a pile of checks to an accountant, and the accountant took all the checks and put it into a bank. Like, I don't
That's
see
fair.
I don't see why that's a big deal, but anyways, next we got
'Cause he's orange.
we got missing Texas mom. Chrissy Powell's body found in a car in a mall parking lot.
Who the
Okay.
fuck is that? Why do I care? And why are we back to death again?
I don't know.
You don't want to get me started on fucking death. Man.
This is the news. I don't know. Like, this is just what's
I
popping
know.
out.
Why are you reading the news?
Because-
It's like, hey, this is the temperature today. Everything's on fire. We're all dying. And these are the people that died today.
Cool.
Let's talk about death then, Nick.
No, let's not talk about death. This is a family-friendly show, god damn it.
I want to talk about transhumanism.
Oh god. What happens when you die?
No.
I
Can
want
you
to talk
please-
about worldwide totalitarianism where everybody gets a vote because everyone has a smartphone nowadays. And if you don't, then sorry, if you want to vote, fucking buy a smartphone. Fucking
I see issues with this
Everybody-
already.
everybody gets a list of the top fucking, I don't know, throw a number on it, 12% of the shittiest people in existence today. We're talking some random fuck from Taiwan that fucking has raped 87 little fucking 7-year-olds, killed 4 people,
Yo,
has
are
been
you-
addicted to heroin his whole life, and can't fucking read or write. All the way up to fucking, like, the
Didn't we-
top scientists in
We
the
talked
fucking
about
world.
this last time, Nick. You want to kill
I'm
12% of the people. And
I
it's
don't,
okay.
I'm not saying 12%. I'm not saying 30%. I'm not putting a number on it, but it needs to fucking happen. Like, I'm sorry you had put a number on it again. Fucking 20 years, 30 years, 50 years. I don't fucking care. You've lived this many years. When you turn fucking that age, say you turn 30. As soon as you turn 30,
We did this.
you are fucking under review. And if you don't fucking pass the test, I'm sorry, but we don't fucking need you. And yes, I sound like Hitler and it's bad, but that's what needs to fucking happen.
You said the words, not me. So I mean, it is.
I mean, fucking think about the Matrix. The Matrix, like the machines had figured out how to turn human bodies into power. We can figure that out. You can turn human bodies into a substantial amount of energy.
energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So that's what I've heard. You know,
Whatever, feed them, like, take half of them, cook them, barbecue them, take half of them, fucking put them on treadmills, feed the fucking half of the shitty people to the other half of the shitty people. You got free power. Like,
Interesting.
I
All
think
right,
that
so-
comes from a misunderstanding of the point of government and, or rather, I'd say human social structures in general.
but if everybody gets to vote on it, it's fair, right? That's a democracy.
My
Democracy
democracy.
is not fair.
I just vote for
I'm
any politician.
anti-democracy.
Yeah. You're
Well-
a dictator. Cinders, you're a dictator. So are you, Nick.
I actually just believe in
I dictator once.
nothing.
God damn
My
it.
thought on it is that I think we can agree no person has any right to tell other people what to do inherently.
I like
Like
that.
nobody's better.
Yeah.
So what is the point of rules and like how
Yes.
we govern the way we interact with people?
Yes
It's
and no.
progression. It's all.
Well, no,
it has
no,
to
there
be
is a point.
progression based.
Progression, that's a problem.
Like this is
I
where
can't-
humanity is trying to go, and you're
But what if
fucking
I'm not
holding
trying
us
to go
back.
there?
Yeah,
Well,
Like
I
you're
just
not
wanna
you're
live.
not trying to be more intelligent and more like
Well, I
make
don't
things
have
more
to, though.
efficient and better and
What
like
if I just want to be happy?
improve the shit that we're building. Like what are we doing as a human race if we're not trying to fucking hey,
Well, we
we've been
don't
doing
have
this
to
for the
at all.
past 1,000 years. Let's fucking do it, but better. Like
I'm
Well,
with
I
Cinders on
disagree.
this.
I haven't been doing anything for 1,000 years. I was born and I'm gonna fucking die.
Yep.
And
I mean,
what I do in that time
what
is
did
mine,
your
just like it
father
is
try to
anybody
do
else.
with his life? What did your father try to do?
I don't know.
with
He
his
was
life?
born and then he's gonna die. And then
Now we're all gonna
peop-
die.
the
We
people
all
in the
are born and
future,
we die. But
More
fucking, what are we
death!
trying to do while we're here? Are we really
everybody
trying to
has
just
their own
fucking
goals.
feed the billionaires' pockets and fucking slave
Uh-uh.
away cooking cheeseburgers all day? Like,
Well, I agree with that point, but my point is that you cannot do away with abuse and totalitarianism with abuse and totalitarianism.
Fair.
If you agree that the point of government and human governance of interactions between other people, the whole point is to allow people to be people. So like
Yes.
I can't kill you and steal
yeah,
your
that's what I'm
shit
saying.
because
No,
it's
you've
human
got
nature to do
30 years to do whatever the
well
fuck you want, but then you're gonna be judged on it. Like, I'm
well
sorry.
no, what I'm saying is that I don't think people can judge each other at all. I
Yeah.
think everybody's entitled I think basically if you look at what a human is, we're like we fucking think and we decide what we want to do and we don't even decide. We just want to do shit. Like
Well, here's the
humans
other
want to eat
issue.
food, humans want to procreate, humans want to live and experience joy. That is human.
Here's the other issue with it, though. Too is it depends on and define
That
what
that
it
what you're
is.
what no, hold on. What you're saying though isn't human. That is life. Like,
No, I'm
everything
saying
tries to do that.
yes, everything.
Everything does the same shit. And we are equally as fucking in that same boat. Like, we are equal to every other
Yeah.
life form out there. We are trying to fucking
No,
we're
we're
trying to
above.
survive. We're trying to not die. We're trying to fucking maybe reproduce so we fucking don't die,
Unless
know?
Nick's in
Essentially.
charge.
Well, what I'm saying is that whether or
Hey,
not
I
other
have
people are included
reproduced
in
with a
that,
lot of things. I have
Just not
forced a lot of other
successfully.
no.
Just
I
not
have forced a
successfully.
lot of other things to reproduce. So
Oh,
well,
okay.
basically what I'm saying is that it might be it's human, it's squirrel, it's fucking cockroach, it's everything.
Yes.
Everything does that. But my point is that the only point of government or humans governing each other is to allow us to be human, allow us to live our lives and do things. Because there is no shared goal. Like nobody's going to agree. Yes, this is humanity's goal.
Well,
This
yeah.
is why we
it
exist.
depends
I
on what
think
you say it is. I say progression is humanity's goal. That's what we're trying to do. We're
But
trying to
not,
progress
I
from where we were to where we're going. We're trying to better everything around us for the most part.
right, but
Like
I agree
fucking
with
that's where all modern technology comes from is, hey,
well, all modern
we had
technology came
that,
from
but we're
people
gonna take
doing
that and make this better. Like,
well,
it's
that
all
came from
progression. That's our
that came
main focus right now.
yeah. Well, that came from individuals interested in doing things. Like
right.
if you look at any discovery or advancement that was made, it wasn't made because everybody went, humans need to progress and we need to get to this state. It was people going, I bet I could do this
And then
and I
they did
really
it.
want to
Yeah.
try.
But the other thing
All I
is,
know is the motherfuckers that made computers exist in a fucking garage somewhere. They did it because, hey, there's this random shit, but I can make it better and I can turn it into this random shit.
yeah,
And
I
they
get
did
that.
it and they made it better, and that they didn't do it thinking I'm going to get rich off of this. They did
Right.
it because they're like, I can do it, you know?
And then they did it, and then
It's
they
all
go, "Oh, I
about the
can get rich off
progression
of
of it.
this."
Like,
Well,
and now today it's like, yes, I
Yeah.
can get rich off of that. But back then it was like, I can make it better, so I'm going
Yeah.
to.
Well,
Like,
what I'm saying is that is
now
their own
everything's just
prerogative.
fucking money driven.
yeah, but
But the money driven aspect isn't natural to humans, it's artificial.
agreed.
The fact that people are all money driven is because they're forced into living in a system that is controlled and they're because in reality nobody goes, well, I want these paper bills instead of having shit. People would go, can I have $1 million or can I have a nice, house and nice cars and that stuff? They want the things, they don't want the money.
I
But you're forced to live in a system where the money is what's being, waved in front of your face and you're taught to value money for itself.
right. And my
That's
biggest
what I
thing
think.
is, in order to accomplish what Nick's saying, you'd have to be able to measure what somebody's worth is, And that's not, I doubt even us three here would agree what would be a measurable thing that you could say it's money.
I mean,
you could say it's happiness. You can say
in every
it's,
aspect of their life, and we have AI that can do this shit for us right now.
I
If you
don't
have a
trust that
smartphone,
at all.
if you have a fucking smartphone, there's AI doing it for you right now, and
Yeah,
they are
but that
judging
has-
you.
yeah, but
and
that
they know
has-
everything about you. They know everything you've ever said, done. Fucking,
yeah, I get that,
they
but what
have
I'm saying
facial
is,
recognition of exactly who you are.
But
we
it-
can fucking pull that off easily. Like,
yeah, but first off, I don't trust AI. Secondly, it doesn't have something called
AI
emotions
is smarter
and
than
feelings.
you.
Yeah, it is. I
Like, I
absolutely
remember
agree.
when I was a little
But-
kid, I trusted my fucking parents because they were smarter than me.
But what
And
I'm
now
s-
I don't trust them because I'm smarter than them.
Yeah, but it doesn't have a soul.
Fucking
it doesn't,
AI is smarter than everything.
Yeah, I
Like,
get that. Well, I wouldn't even say that, but I would say that it doesn't have a soul. It
everything
doesn't
on
have,
this planet.
You have to have a soul. Soul is important.
What's a soul?
What's a soul? It's something that cannot be
It's
recreated.
a fictitious word that people have created for shit they don't know. Like,
No, I mean,
you can't even
what I'm
use the
saying
word
is-
soul. It has no meaning.
Okay,
Like,
well, something
I have a
like
soul. Do you really though? What's
Yeah,
a soul? I don't know. I
it's
have
capa-
one though.
it's capable-
Like, no, it doesn't work
It's
like
the
that.
capability of having feelings. It's the capability of showing
That's
love.
not a
It's the
soul,
capability.
no.
Yes, that's part of what a soul is. Anyways, next we got
No,
here's.
because your soul lives after you die.
I mean, depending on who you're talking
Depending
to.
on your religion and
Depending
whatever
on who
you
you're
believe.
talking to.
I
A
think
soul
when
is
you
a
die, you
very
fucking
vague
die.
word right now. It's a fucking light switch. It's on or off.
It doesn't matter.
And realistically, if you want to think about the grand scheme of things, every potential outcome that has ever existed. If you think about the Big Bang, the universe, the fucking explosion of life itself, everything that could possibly happen, like, you can't fucking think that the Big Bang was the creation of existence.
No,
That is
It
no.
wasn't.
That was not the first bang.
That
Big
would
Bang,
be-
if it was the Big Bang. Whatever.
Correlation is
that was
not
not the first
causation.
one, and it won't be the last one. In fact, it appears to be infinite. So,
Well, that's the only logical
that
idea.
being said, you look at like the shit the JSWT or JWST, that's what it is. If you look at what that is capturing,
Oh, yeah.
it is showing us further and further that we are so minuscule it's not even funny.
Well,
Fucking
now we're
you look at the infinite possibilities out there and the span of time. We don't know when time started, when it ended. For all we know, it's infinite.
Well,
Time has always
time doesn't
existed,
exist.
and time will always exist. It either does or it doesn't, and we're here having this conversation, right? So
Wha-
it has always been here, and it will always be here. So
Yo.
there's no disputing that. So if you want to fucking talk about that, like, the fact that anything existed at all ever means it will always exist forever.
Welcome to the news according to Degenerates, where we go from some lady found dead in a mall to the Big Bang Theory.
I'm just saying, fucking, it has to be infinite. It's not one or the other. There's no
Well-
fucking shit exists from here to here, but never again.
I think
No,
it's,
that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Shit
Like-
has always existed. Shit will always exist. And with that logic, you can say safely that everything that has ever potentially, like, if it could have fucking happened, if there was a
there's
anything, any
theories where it already
combination of
did.
anything that fucking makes what we are today, if that could happen, that means it's happened before. And it's
Okay.
gonna happen again.
Now
And
that
if
we're-
you think by that logic, we have had this conversation before. You, me, and Cinders specifically.
Yeah,
And
well,
we will have this conversation again.
we're gonna
But
move
it's a matter
along.
of time before all of the shit in the universe, every molecule fucking lines up to create the same fucking outcome. Again, it will fucking happen. It's gonna be so far away in the future or the past that we can't put a number on it.
But isn't
But if
life
it
a
happened
simulation?
if it happened before, it will happen again. So we have had this conversation before. We've been in this exact same spot, in this exact same. And the last time we had this conversation, I didn't just interrupt myself and explain myself a second time that we've had this conversation before.
I was gonna say,
or
I think
did
I'm
I?
having
Or
deja
did I?
vu. Well, with all that being said,
Every
now
possible
that
outcome that could happen has happened before and will happen again.
is the cat in the box
So
alive or dead?
the only caveat here is that it's your perspective of where you're at in the infinite loop of time.
Right. Okay. Now, with that being said, we're gonna move along to
Sorry,
here's why
I went on a rant there.
Yeah, a little bit. And that's okay. That's why we're doing this. All right. So we got here's why Coca-Cola is eliminating the iconic green Sprite bottle. You know what? I'm for it because fuck Sprite, 7-Up all day. Suck my dick. Deal with it.
I can't remember the last time I had either one, so
7-Up is my
this
shit.
is what I'm gonna do.
Nick, you fucked up the stream. Come back. Thank you. Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, any comments about missing the green Sprite bottles? Anybody? Now that we're done talking about string
Are they
theory.
made out of plastic?
Yes.
Then I'm gonna go set the fucking Coca-Cola factory on fire, because
Do it.
no, that'll produce more CO2 and emissions in the atmosphere, and I'll be doing more harm than good simply by setting them on fire. Because they're obviously not gonna fucking die from it and go out of business. They will continue to do what they're doing, and all I would have done is just fuck the world up a little more. So, not gonna happen.
Next, we got The Walking Dead. Now has 6 spin-off shows. Here they all are. Who the fuck cares? I didn't even finish the first Walking Dead. It was great up until it wasn't good anymore.
Yeah, like the first 4 or 5 seasons, it was pretty alright, and after that, I never fucking gave a fuck ever again.
Yeah, it was, I couldn't stand it after, because the first couple seasons were just them surviving. They had no idea what the fuck was going on. So I could excuse them being absolutely stupid and incompetent. But then later, they're supposed to be some sort of badasses, and I'm just watching the show like, holy shit, if you literally sat me there, I would fucking dome everybody. and literally just walk in, kick Negan in the balls, and be like, this is my shit now. I fucking killed all
Don't
you
even
dudes.
kick him in the balls. You gotta fucking make sure you discover him first before he discovers you. They don't just fucking... The way they go about that shit is so dumb, like...
Well,
no, it was so dumb. Like, all the fights they had with him, and everybody... Like, they would have gunfights.
Drug it out for fucking ever.
Yeah.
It's like, we had a shitty idea, let's drag it out for a whole season.
I don't know.
Let's make it 3 seasons.
I liked Negan as a character, honestly.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, he was cool. I just wish they would have fucking done a better job with the fine details.
My problem is that in the show, it's unrealistic, because our redneck sitting in the bushes of a 270 Winchester would have literally ended the entire war in like 2 days. Just fucking popping people.
But the question is, would they 360 no scope them?
I doubt he would no scope them, but also I hate that they have access to all the shit left over from society, and they're shooting at each other with like guns.
And bows and arrows and shit.
Like, there's fucking tanks.
Arrow with the crossbow.
You could go raid a base, get a tank, get a couple 40 millimeter grenade launchers, fucking blow the shit out of them.
Why is it always the fucking military bases were overrun and fucking struck down? No, those would be the only ones surviving. They would have mowed down civilians equal to fucking zombies. Like, nope, we're murdering everybody, and the military bases are the ones that fucking make it out because they're the ones with the fucking weapons. Like,
yeah. I don't know. I think it just went downhill after it was like this big reveal that, oh no, and spoiler alert for anybody that's watching or gives a fuck, but Carl died, and it's like who the fuck?
Decade ago.
Who the fuck cares about Carl that much? He was an edgy little fucking dumbass teenager.
He's lucky he survived that fucking long.
Right? And that was like their big, oh no, you got to be really hyped. And I was like, okay, I just don't really care about this show anymore, and I quit watching right after that. So I don't know. Where'd you end off at, Cinders? Where did you stop watching?
Probably it would have been after the Whispers timeline ended.
Oh shit! I forgot all about that shit.
I got pissed off when they fucking killed Jesus. I loved that character. He was so funny.
I made it
Wasn't
to
he gay?
basically the end of the Negan fucking Rick fight, and then I was like, yeah, I'm over it.
Okay, so the thing about that is that I thought it was hilarious, because the gay character, the really badass one, whose like husband died, like in the Negan saga, kind of area.
I'm
Like, he died in that one gunfight.
yeah. Well,
Yeah, and he ended up with Jesus, and I was like, dude, they have gay Jesus in this show.
gay Jesus.
But then they fucking killed Jesus, so the dude lost his husband and then his other husband. I was like, God damn,
dude, that's how you
fucking savages.
That's how you get the left to convert to fucking Christianity. You just show them that show and be like, look, Jesus was gay.
Jesus.
And they're all gonna follow that shit. Okay,
But
so
yeah, I stopped watching then. It got boring.
I know at that point I moved on and I watched whatever the knockoff show was. It was like Walking Dead, but like the shitty version.
Fear the Walking Dead?
Yeah, Fear the Walking Dead.
No, not that one. That was just some spin-off of bullshit, whatever. It was fucking on a different channel. It was like sci-fi instead of AMC or some shit. It was fucking...
I'm pretty sure he's right. I think it's Fear the Walking Dead.
No, it's not. That was on AMC.
Was it? Oh,
Different
okay.
channel. Fucking, what was it called? Fucking, god damn it. I'm about to Google it. Because you guys aren't fucking helping me out here.
I
And I know
I'm
it's a
stupid, I
thing.
can't help.
I can't type anything else because it fucks up my whole setup here. Maybe I'll fix that down the road so I can actually just show my full screen or something. But
Z Nation.
oh, I think I've seen a little bit of it. It was all right.
Oh, on this topic, have you guys seen?
I ended up moving on to fucking Z Nation after I was done with Walking Dead. Like, yeah, I don't care about this. They came out with new shit, and I was like, I don't even care anymore. And then I saw that shit and was like, yeah, this is... It's shitty, but it's pretty much Walking Dead.
Yeah. All right, what were we saying, Cinders?
Have you seen some of the crazy survival zombie games they've been coming out with recently?
Just survival games in general.
Well,
They've been coming
there's
out
one
with
I've been
crazy
watching
shit.
where they have the most, like, it's a zombie survival, but I love it because they have the most realistic gunplay and body armor, and like basically it's an FPS that just happens to have zombies in it, but like straight up in that game,
It's
like
accurate.
if you're wearing level 3+ plates, like you're not gonna somebody can't hurt you with a 5.56.
That's pretty neat.
They need armor piercing rounds. And if
Dope.
you fucking get shot in the arm with a hollow point, you're gonna start bleeding out.
Well,
And
I would think that depending on how big that bullet is, your arm is coming off, but
oh yeah. No, you lose the function of your arms and stuff. You have to put a
that's
tourniquet
cool.
on. There's no bullshit healing like
oh, I'm
you
gonna
put
get
a tourniquet
Fallout shit.
No, like freaking Resident Evil 8 where he like gets his arm cut off
Your
and then
right
just
leg
pours
is
some
broken.
shit on it and anyways, okay, next thing we got California court okays death penalty in 80s sex slave murders. How does that work? I would like to know because
They only okay it for sex slave murders?
well, in the 80s apparently. How does that work?
In the 80s, what the fuck?
I don't know.
Well, they got fucking, if you were a sex slave in the 80s, we'll allow you to kill yourself. What?
Well, it's the death penalty, so it's like whoever killed their sex slaves in the 80s now can be how does that work? Because I don't think that California actually has the death penalty going right now. So I'm not sure what they're trying to get at here. It's just like, oh, for these couple of cases, yeah, we're going to kill them. So
all I know is Dr. Kevorkian had it figured out. He was on the right page.
Jesus Christ. You and your death. All right, we got a woman reveals sister's elaborate wedding invitations.
I mean, if you want to die and you have some help, if you want to have some help with fucking dying, who do you go to?
The gun.
There's nobody. You can buy a gun, you can kill yourself, but if you fucking can't even get off your couch to go buy a gun and kill yourself, who do you call?
Ghostbusters.
Dr. Kevorkian.
kind of agree with that one. I think you should be able to hire people to kill you if you don't want to live anymore.
Well, they do have assisted suicide, but that's a topic I want to talk about in a whole fucking episode.
I saw a crazy post about fucking this guy that wanted to kill himself and hired a hitman to kill him.
That's dope.
And he's like, I just want you to kill me. I don't care. I will pay you $5,000. Fucking come. But
is it like a surprise? And like, surprise, motherfucker!
His response was, because he got on the dark web to do it. Like, he joined the dark web and fucking tried to find a hitman and was like, please come kill me. Like, And it was literally the fucking U.S. government responded with, "This is just like a fucking setup to try to catch people trying to kill other people.
You need
So
help,
we're
bro.
gonna refund your $5,000 back. Sorry."
Oh my god.
That's fucking hilarious. I'm surprised that it hit him with like, "Hey, you want to commit a mass shooting for us?"
No kidding. I think
mean,
that's a thing.
that story might have been from the same guy that was in Aurora, Colorado. I don't know. I didn't get any names, so.
Okay, we got an Indiana Attorney General launched an investigation of abortion doctor based on it shows the little so-called complaints her lawyer says with, and that's all it says. And there's
Next.
there's a cardboard cutout of Trump behind it, and it's kind of funny. But anyways, pasta pomodoro lets you skip the marinara jar. Fuck that. Let's see, more Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin on Roe versus Wade ruling. I trusted Justice Gorsuch and Justice Kavanaugh. Nobody trusts you, Manchin. Who cares? Like, you can't even pick a fucking party and stick to it. Nobody cares what you think about anything. Next, more ads. More ads. Mom strangles her 3 children to death, then
What are you
hangs.
even looking at right now?
Then
You need
hangs
some help
herself-
over here?
I mean,
Fuck.
that's what I'm saying. If you want to bring up something, but let me finish. Mom strangles her 3 children to death, then hangs herself at daycare center home. Okay, that's just fantastic. That's more death. Like I feel like I should start a death counter. Like for each death that it talks about, we need to put a little ding. What you got?
Oh shit!
What?
Nothing.
No,
not
now-
supposed to be playing video games.
Ooh, I'm telling on you.
What do you think about this? Hershey Chocolate says it will not be able to meet the demand for Halloween this year.
I'm
Well.
not surprised.
Maybe they should get good.
Maybe they should fucking pay more and try to not be billionaires.
Or maybe we should just get rid of some of the children so that there's more actual
exactly.
chocolate.
You put the cap at 8 years old, you say, hey, if you can't figure out 4 times 4, we're going to murder you.
Holy shit!
God damn it. Oh, leave it to Nick. All right, we got Rudy Giuliani was just ordered to testify for the January 6th committee. So who gives a shit about that? Because that is the biggest soap opera for adults I've ever seen.
It's an insurrection!
The insurrection.
Oh my god!
It happened well over a year ago, almost 2 years ago at this point. And
It's like, listen,
Well-
bitch, if there was an insurrection, you wouldn't know because you'd be fucking dead.
What
Right.
do you think about this one?
What you got?
So, the Loch Ness Monster has been deemed plausible after scientists find fossils.
Okay. So is it just
So
how does that make any difference?
Because they found something that would be the Loch Ness Monster with bones that are not old enough to fucking be the same as the extinction point, which all shit like that died.
But it doesn't make a lot of sense because I could go find another fossil and be like, oh, well, the
Yeah,
Loch Ness Monster was
Let's
actually a
say-
T-Rex.
Let's say you find bones like a plesiosaur or whatever the fuck
Mhm.
it was. It looks like
The-
a Loch Ness
the
Monster.
one that's like,
And you fucking say all plesiosaurs went extinct on this day when that fucking worldwide bullshit happened. And
But
every
did they?
like 99.8% of life went extinct. We found bones that are post-dated that.
okay, but is it recent enough for it to be alive? And how long is their lifespan? And like,
Well,
there's so many things
I
here.
think that Nick's point is that the reason that things that are technically dinosaurs are supposed to not be possible to exist is because they were all supposed to have died in an
Right.
extinction event. If you find fossils that show they lived past the extinction event, there's no reason to think that they're extinct anymore because the event supposedly made them go extinct didn't.
Yeah, but my question is, if they found a fossil, obviously it's been in the ground for quite some fucking time.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like-
we,
Well,
we know more
the-
about the moon than we do our own oceans, so...
Well, I think the idea
You
is
can't
like
tell me that the fact that a plesiosaur could not exist to this day is not a possibility.
yeah.
I'm not
Well, I
saying that
think-
it's not, but
I think the point is it's not confirmation, but what the point is that you have plesiosaur sightings or sightings that fit the description of a plesiosaur.
But-
Then you find out that plesiosaurs did not go extinct in the extinction event we thought. then you go, well, it's plausible that the plesiosaur is responsible for these sightings because it's not it
Yo,
didn't go extinct when we thought it did.
But why do they got to bring Nessie into this? You know, like what did Nessie
Also,
do?
I'm not an expert on it, but I always thought it was kind of stupid. Maybe I'm really
Why
confused.
did you say Nessie? I feel like that was brought up in one of our old songs.
But
Yeah, it was.
why did the ocean dinosaurs supposedly go extinct at the same time everything else did when they were in the ocean, partially protected?
I'm gonna say probably monkeypox. That's my guess. I'm not an expert either, but they were actually gay dinosaurs, and they all got the monkeypox.
What do you feel about this one?
What?
The Polish Institute classifies cats as an invasive alien species.
Alien?
Yeah.
That's
Cats
dope
are
as fuck.
aliens.
Yo, come here, kitty. You're a little alien.
I mean, I don't know if you ever saw Men in Black, but they might have been onto something.
Yeah, I know. That's for sure, because the whole universe is actually in a cat's collar or some nonsense, but...
Which is technically a marble that some random motherfucking alien is playing with.
Man, I need to find a new freaking site, because literally like half of these
I'm
are
telling you,
ads.
man, get on Reddit. Reddit is where it's at.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
If you're on foxnews.com, you're going to read shit like that all the
I'm not on Fox News. It literally pulls from all kinds of different, like this is Reader's Digest. It says there's 11 countries where you don't need to tip. And I don't see
No,
why
there's 11 countries where you're not supposed to tip. And most
Right.
of them get mad at you when you try to give them more money than what they want.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, like, okay, are you?
No, this is what I gave you. This is what I want. Give me what I want. I don't want more. Fuck you.
So do you guys think tipping is ridiculous? Like, do you think it's actually worth it, or would it be better to just give everybody a low?
If
a
you're
low
talking
wage or...
about the way we treat fucking minimum wage workers like waitresses, that fucking they like there's some waitresses out there that make way less than minimum wage simply because the employer knows they're going to get tips.
Right.
Yeah. No, my
And
view
they're
on
like,
tipping,
yeah, I'm going to try to balance that. So I'm going to pay you fucking $5 an hour and you get the tips. And that is bullshit. Like,
Yeah,
so
I agree.
my view on it is that tipping is it's a gratuity. You give it to somebody. You did a good job.
tipping should be
It's
an
not-
option. It should
it's
not
not
be
s-
mandatory. It should not be a fucking.
It's not
Like,
something you should be
yes,
made to feel bad
I
about.
want
not
to
giving.
give you more money because I respect all you do and what you did. Like, you did what I wanted you to do. I'm gonna give you some more money.
You know
Here's some more money.
You know what I fucking hate is
And
nowadays, like,
companies
there's
that
tips
fucking
for
have
everything.
like shared tips and fucking like we don't accept tips because it's all factored into the money. Like, no, fuck you.
That's not a tip then.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Like
that's
I
kind of
like the
ridiculous.
chick that fucking just brought me my drinks and shit. I want to give her money. I don't want to give every other fucking spit fuck in the fucking building a percentage of that. Like,
Yeah, I feel that. But my biggest gripe about tipping is now like everybody's doing it to this point. So you'll go to like even the cigar shop, like I'll go in there and it's like, okay, well here you go, and then they turn around the iPad for you to add on
yeah,
a tip,
exactly.
and it's like,
I went to
dude,
fucking
I
Slotsky's
literally
the other day. I went to
Yeah.
fucking Slotsky's and they're like, yeah, this is gonna ask you for a tip. Put your card in here and you can hit no if you want. It's like,
now
fuck
you're making
you,
me feel
man.
bad. Like, first off, you're making me feel bad, but especially in that, like the one that I'm talking about,
You're
because at
guilt
least
tripping me into fucking giving you money, and
Right.
that's bullshit.
But the thing is, I walked in there, I walked up and I bought my own cigar. I didn't ask you any questions. I picked it up with my own hand. I walked my ass over to the counter. I put it on the counter. You rung it up, and you deserve a tip for what? Like, I
For
didn't.
going,
Yeah. Not even that. Like, I don't know. I just think it's getting a bit ridiculous. I think it'd be better to just give people a decent wage. Like something that's actually worth what they're doing. But
Yeah, and tips would be something they could look forward to.
okay. So
I get that. If you had a shitty job and you're like, yeah, I'm making fucking shit in an hour, and somebody wants to randomly give me money, fuck yeah.
Well, like what
Yeah.
I'm saying is like the
But
tip should
then
be
all of
something
a
where
sudden, your boss is like, "Oh, all that money you just got." Like I've seen stories about fucking random waitress that gets fucking a $400 tip, and the owner's like, "No, we have to split that amongst the fucking everyone in the building." Like,
Yeah,
no,
that's some horse
that
shit.
bitch fucking she earned that fucking $400 tip, and you don't fucking touch it. Like,
Yeah, I agree. What were you saying, Cinders?
well, I was saying that tips should be something where you're like, you do a good job and you get a a bonus for it. You're not
Right.
as opposed to being disappointed you didn't get a tip because that's what you rely on.
Right, but I mean, I guess it's a bigger incentive to do your job better. Like that's the only thing that I do enjoy about tipping is it does give you an incentive to go above and beyond. However, at the same time, like I don't it shouldn't the company should not be involved in that process whatsoever in my opinion. So, and like what Nick's saying like, "Oh, well we got to split that." Well, you can split these nuts in your mouth cuz you didn't work for that. I did. That's just my opinion.
right? It's your money. You should be able to fucking say where it goes. Like,
Right? Exactly. So now we got the real reason Donald Trump wants to sue CNN.
I'm going to get rid of that subject altogether, and I'm going to say the third elephant to die from herpes virus was in Zurich Zoo. I don't know where Zurich is, but there was a third elephant to die from herpes virus.
Nick, were you having sex with ladies over there? Like big ladies, and that's what happened?
I don't even know where Zurich is, but
don't
if I have
either.
ever been there, I'm sorry.
I apologize in advance. Jesus Christ. No, I don't care about the whole Trump thing. I do want to bring up how ridiculous it is that the news is able to get away with whatever the hell they want anymore. And I feel like people should sue them, especially somebody like Trump. I'm not going to go deep into that subject. But I mean, look at some of the shit that they just get away with. Like, a good example would be like Kyle Rittenhouse, where they're like, "Oh, well, he was a white supremacist who did this, and he's a far right extremist and all this kind of shit. And he just went out hunting black people, even though he never shot black people. He was not a MAGA supporter. He was not a white supremacist. He was not, like I feel like there has to be more suing of these companies because it's just ruining people's
So
lives.
what do you feel about this story? There's a corporate greed man investing in fucking stocks and shit. He gets extorted, or he extorts fucking whatever. Fucking
I'm confused.
$200,000. This guy fucking caps $200,000, puts it in his pocket, and the courts take him to jail, and they're like, "You fucking extorted this money. It's not right. You're getting fucking 3 months of community service." And then a homeless guy steals $100 from a bank, and he gets fucking 17 years in prison.
Oh, don't get me started on the justice system, dude. It's fucking awful. We need to do something to fix that shit, cause
So rich ass motherfucker gets away with tons of money for nothing,
yep.
and homeless guy steals $100.
I mean,
and fucking goes to jail for the rest of his life. Like,
and here's the thing that bugs me about that whole concept is there are people that will literally.
At least he's got 3 nuts in the hot.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm getting at too.
He needs to get in on this. I'm gonna turn the fucking.
Oh, we got Uncle Dennis on the line. Let's go. No, but that's exactly what I was saying is what bugs me about it is he can go in there, steal that $100, get like 10 years in prison, and yet we're going to pay more in taxes to feed and shelter that guy for the next 10 years than like 200 times, like 2,000 times what that $100 is worth. It's fucking stupid. It's dumb. I don't think that shit should be run that way, but
that's the way it is.
Yes, sir.
He can hear you, but you can't hear him.
Yes. Cinders, what's your thoughts?
Do you know where the bar clamps are?
Bar clamps.
They used to be hanging.
My thoughts.
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
Putting people in jail for stealing shit.
Yes.
If they can just, in my mind, if you didn't commit violence when you stole it, as in you just like fucking snagged it and were just like, hey,
Yeah.
stealing this shit, I think you should just have to give it back and then some so that you don't, there needs to be an incentive for you to not steal shit. But I don't agree with locking people up for nonviolent stuff. It's a waste. And it's
Uh,
more than you need to do, in my mind. Like,
it
basically,
it
if you
depends on
steal
the
shit, you should
intent
get.
for sure.
But breaking into somebody's house is different. I'm saying if you straight up just like snag something out of the open and you're like, I'm stealing this shit, I don't think you even need to go chase him down and put him in jail. I think that uh, it's kind of a waste of time, energy, and money
Yeah,
when you could just have it, take it back and make them pay for it. Make them pay,
for the
damages.
inconvenience. Yeah.
Yeah, more than that, but also so that there's actual consequences so that they won't keep doing it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if anything, I feel like we need a lot more people with uh getting mental help for shit like that. Like, hey, what's wrong with your brain to make you think that that's okay and that nothing would happen? Like, I
Yeah, a
don't know.
lot of these people that commit crimes that seem just really stupid,
Make you guys
they are stupid or they're
own.
mentally not right, and the system we have doesn't really do anything for them because then you just turn them into a violent criminal half the time when they're not. You go put them in prison with other violent people where they have to become violent.
Right. I don't know what Nick was trying to say. I think he was bumbling some words. I couldn't tell. But we're almost to the end of our line here. I don't know if he's going to continue. We got Andrew Yang's latest desperate move has everyone calling BS. I don't know who Andrew Yang is. Um, no earthly idea. No comment there. Do you know who Andrew Yang is?
Yeah, I know who he is.
Who is he? Who is he?
He ran for president, and he's a dude who is not sure of his political views, and he's one of those people that has common sense views he says are common sense that contradict
Oh, okay.
his ethical
I
positions.
know who
So
he is now. Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. But yeah,
he,
a lot of what he said, like some of it sounds good on face, but if you do the math behind it, it's like, yeah, that's not really gonna work, bud. Like, I don't know. But I don't know what
yeah,
his last move was and why everyone's calling BS because I've been kind of calling BS on his shit for a long time, but I don't know. Who knows? Freaking
yeah,
politics. Let's see. The Kavanaugh suspect said he wanted to kill more Supreme Court justices, officials say. Well. I mean, I don't know if you've kept up on that whole thing, but I think it's absolutely ridiculous that we're to the point in the United States where we can have somebody out there trying to kill justices for decisions that haven't even come out yet because it got leaked by somebody in the government. And now they're doing illegal protests outside of the houses of these places, and yet and have someone actually try to go in and everyone says, oh well, he turned himself in. Well, yeah, he should have turned himself in, and he shouldn't have been doing what he was doing in the first place. But it's such a sad place where we're to the point where people feel the need to do that, first off. And secondly, like it, how do I explain it? It's just the whole country's fucked. Like we're in trouble. I don't know.
yeah. I can sympathize with the people feeling like they have to take drastic action,
Right.
because they don't have any avenue for. It's top down, so I'm not saying there needs to be repercussions for decisions or something, but
Right.
anybody in the government can do whatever they want, and they will be investigated by their peers who are biased, and it will be said that they did nothing wrong,
Yep.
even though it's plainly obvious they did. The
Yep.
worst offenders are law enforcement who will literally fucking assault and kill, hurt people, violate their rights, admit that they know they're doing it, and get no repercussions. And so when somebody gets fed up and decides they want to take it into their own hands, it's understandable to an extent why they
Yeah.
feel that way.
Yeah.
But also sometimes they do it for really dumb fucking reasons.
Yeah, and that's where we're at in the United States right now. Is it's all pretty fucking
Yeah.
stupid if you ask me. But
Because, like, if somebody's like, "Well, the cops came and they tried to steal my guns and arrest me," I'd be like, "Well, do what you got to do."
where's your
But
warrant?
if they're like, "Oh my god, the government's going to stop giving me other people's money. I should like kill this random person in the government." I'm like, "Well, that's not the same. You
Yeah,
know, it's not the same at all. That's not
agreed.
defending yourself.
I agree.
That's actual terrorism as
Well,
opposed to defending yourself."
have you heard that? And this may just be in certain states, but they actually at this point in time have what is it, ATF agents going by people's houses and asking to see the guns. If they purchase more than 2 guns, they come knocking on
Yeah.
your door and say, "Hey, can I see those guns you just bought?" Like, what would your reaction be to that?
I tell them to go fuck themselves.
Yeah, I mean, you
Go
can
away.
just straight up say, "Please show me a warrant." Like,
I
I
heard
wouldn't
some
even
shit
say show
about
me a warrant. I would be like, if they don't show you a warrant, they don't have one. So I just go, you know what? Fuck off.
yeah,
I know
I'm calling the
Canada
police.
recently tried to propose the idea that they were trying to say that no fucking gun ever whatsoever should hold fucking more than X amount of magazine or bullets per magazine,
right.
which is a great idea. You should put the cap at like fucking 10.
Well, I'm in trouble if I'm in
You don't
Canada.
need fucking 100 round fucking clips in a fucking AR with the bump stock to try to hit your target.
I
If you're trying to use it for home defense or if you're trying to use it for fucking hunting, if you can't hit where you're trying to fucking shoot in 10 rounds, then you shouldn't own a fucking gun. Like,
Well, my point
I
is that
disagree.
10 rounds isn't for the home invader. It's for the government.
Yeah, that's fair too.
The 30-round magazine
Yeah.
is to stop the government, whatever thugs they have, from coming and taking, violating my rights. That's the whole point of the Second Amendment. If it
I
was just about hunting or self-defense. But I do have a point on self-defense, though. Cops have a 30% accuracy rate in the field.
and those are trained
We can't.
people.
We can't. Well, the thing is, they're a lot worse than armed citizens.
All right.
they're mostly
Most armed
like
citizens have
fucking
like an 80%
normal ass
accuracy.
people, but there's a lot of cops out there that were the fucking
Yeah.
guy that got picked on in fucking high school, and they
Yeah.
fucking get out there and they're like, you know what? Fuck everybody. I fucking got picked on my whole life. Now it's my turn.
So-
Like,
My
Yeah.
point is, if you have 10 rounds, if you 20% of that, that's not enough to actually put down a target statistically.
Well, not just
So
that, but it's
if cops can't do it, you can't expect citizens to do it. I know that citizens are probably better at shooting on average than police are, unfortunately. But
the ones that
depending.
own guns, yes, probably.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so Nick, here's an example of why I disagree, and I think that we should have as many rounds as we fucking want. That's just me being
No, that's
me.
dumb.
No,
Why
it's
do
not.
you need 100 fucking rounds of ammo in a gun?
Because
do you-
why the fuck
because-
not?
Because
Well-
if you can't fucking hit what you're aiming at in
Right.
less than fucking 10
Okay,
rounds,
you
you
didn't
should
even.
not own a fucking gun.
Okay,
Like,
I think I should because check out this scenario.
because I have 100 rounds and 2 of them are gonna hit the target.
No,
No,
listen,
you don't
hear
need
me
a fucking gun at that point.
Hear
Like,
me out. Okay, so say I'm off at work and I'm married and I have kids and somebody breaks into my fucking house and my wife just knows how to shoot a gun. Like he's saying, even police officers are 30% accurate, and these are people that actually are trained and have to go out shooting and stuff.
then buy a fucking shotgun.
Right,
the
I get that.
shotgun
But
has a spread of about 2 inches at 20
Why
yards.
do you need a high-powered rifle that will go not only through the person you're shooting at, but through your neighbor's siding, fucking plywood, fucking sheetrock, into their fucking house, in through them, and into the next bedroom? Like, you
Wait,
don't
what round
need
do
to
you
fucking shoot
What round do you
3
think would do
people
that,
at
Nick?
once. You need to fucking...
Wait, what round would do that, Nick? Because a 5.56
I'm-
will normally
Even
not
a
penetrate a whole
223.
person.
A 223 will go through
That is a
both
5.56.
fucking metal doors. Both metal
Well,
doors. No, it's not. It's
223
different. Fucking
well,
223 is literally 22 caliber ammo
Yeah,
shot out of a
5.56 as well.
high-powered rifle. Like,
Well, I'll
fucking,
tell you,
you can literally shoot through both car doors on either side of the fucking
Yeah.
car. You
well,
can
you
shoot
could shoot through
completely
that with
through
a
a
22
car.
long rifle.
You can shoot through fucking walls Why
Yeah,
do you need to shoot
bullets
through a
don't stop
human into
walls,
the
Nick.
next human when all
Okay,
you need is a fucking 22, literal pistol, long rifle 22, to fucking do the job? Why do
Well-
I need to fucking have my bullet travel an extra 500 feet when it doesn't need to?
Well, I'll give you. Well, first off, I want to clarify. 5.56 is 223 with higher pressure rating. It's the same round, loaded with slightly more pressure.
Fair enough, but
They are both 22 caliber, 5.56 millimeter, and they're very high velocity and tend to explode when they hit hard objects, or people.
Yes.
So they don't overpenetrate very well because if you were to
depends
hit
on the
somebody,
rounds.
But my point was that it's not about one person breaking into my house in the middle of the night because
And this is where I
just
agree with
a
Cinders 100%.
just a 223 would put them down easily, and I do it in
My
one round.
22 would do the same job.
Well, it would do a good job, but I'm confident with a 5.56 or 223, I could put one in their chest and they'd be down. But if
All I
5
know
dudes
is
in
the amount
body
of
armor,
shooting I've done with my 22. If I were to use it for home defense, it holds 10 rounds max.
yeah,
And if I fucking shoot 10 rounds at somebody, 8 of the 10 rounds are definitely going to hit them, if not all 10. Like,
Right,
well,
but
you're for sure right on that. My point is like I have a 6.5 Grendel. It has a shit ton of power.
I would
I
be
would
right
rather-
back. I'm gonna take my dog
I-
out, boys.
I have
I
a
would
9
rather-
millimeter. I've got bigger, stronger weapons, but I don't fucking like. I would
don't want-
prefer my 22 for home defense over a fucking 9 millimeter,
Well-
a 50 caliber, or fucking.
Well, for me, I would
223
rather
high-powered assault rifle.
completely destroy and annihilate the threat than barely do less damage. So if
No,
I
I'm
shoot them
gonna
in the
shoot
chest
them,
with a
shoot 'em once
22,
with my 22, and they're gonna go down, and I'm gonna be like, "Are you
But
done?
I've
Are you
seen
done? You
videos
want to
of
walk away from this, or you want me to shoot you some more?" Like,
I've seen
I will
videos
give
of
them the
people.
chance to survive. Like,
I've seen videos of people shoot somebody 8 times with a 9 millimeter in the chest. Pistol rounds are very low in terminal effect. They don't have a lot of energy, so they don't
drugs are
cause.
bad as well. So
Yeah.
Oh my god! Now
Well,
my dog. Hold
my
on.
point is that I would rather know if I put a shot in their chest, they're destroyed and they're dead on the spot.
like shooting
For
someone with
sure.
a fucking 50 caliber beret, though. You just fucking blow a fucking basketball size hole in the back of their
Well,
chest. Like,
it is
yeah,
definitely
it's gonna
too
kill them
much.
instantly, but fuck, man. Like, do you need that?
I would say that based on statistics and based on like police statistics, shootings, and military data,
Like, honestly,
A
I would
rifle
rather
is
have a
needed
fucking
for
shotgun
effective-
loaded with shells full of rock salt. Like, I don't
Yeah.
want to kill you. I want to piss you off, and I want to fucking piss you off a lot. Like,
well, I don't want to kill them. I want them to stop moving so they don't shoot me.
Yeah.
And
so blowing a
Let's see.
basketball-sized fucking hole in their chest is ideal. Like,
yeah, well, ideally, I would shoot them.
they
and then
will
they would be.
definitely die. Like, that is 100% death rate.
Well, the point is, if you destroy their internal organs, they cease functioning and they're no longer a threat. If
Yeah.
I had a ray gun that would paralyze them, that would
That'd
be way more effective, but those
be
don't
sick.
exist. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, the reality is if I want to stop a threat, I have to do something that's probably almost definitely going to kill them, but that's their fault, not
So what
mine.
you're looking for is a miniature nuke launcher. That's
Hell
what you
yeah,
really
dog.
want.
Well,
Dude, I
like
want
I said,
one.
there is a point where there's too much collateral damage, which is why I would never use a 50 BMG for home defense because that would overpenetrate for sure, and it would cause everyone in the house to go deaf and possibly,
Like my
blow
fucking
their eyes
uncle.
out.
My uncle has an assault rifle, a Beowulf, that has fucking 50 caliber round
Is it
assault
select
rifle
fire?
ammo. It's fucking dumb. Why
Well,
do you
is-
need that?
Is
And
it
his
actually an
reasoning
assault
is,
rifle, Nick?
well, the hogs are gonna make it up to Kansas one of these days. Like, no, you don't. That's a bullshit excuse, and you're a fucking idiot.
Well, is it actually an assault rifle? Is it full auto?
Yes. Well,
Not fully auto.
Not full auto, it's
semi-auto.
So technically, it's not an assault rifle because an assault rifle means
Full auto.
It's the definition is a mid caliber
Yeah,
carbine that is
you can
select fire.
you can throw a bump stock on it, and it'll be close to full auto.
Yeah, you could also just throw a trigger kit in and make it full auto, but technically it's not. But what I was trying to say earlier is that the reason I would want a 100-round magazine of, a crazy round is not for a dumbass kid high off his ass breaking in my house.
Fair.
The point is that there could be a team of 5 dudes wearing body armor breaking in my house to come violate my rights or kill
And
me.
at that point, they probably should be.
No, I don't think so.
No, they literally okay. So let's say the government passed a law right now saying 10-round magazines and 22 calibers a limit. No AR-15s. I have a 6.5 Grendel AR with 25-round magazines, and they come say, "Well, now you can't have that. We're gonna steal it." That's not right, and that is a violation of many amendments. It's
Of
a
what
violation of
amendment?
the Fourth Amendment,
They're
the
not.
Second
They're not.
Amendment.
They're not saying you can't have guns. They're saying
No, but
you
the
can't
Second
have
Amendment.
fucking
So
dukes. Like,
the Second Amendment, as written, says the right
and
of the
the
people to keep and
amendments
bear arms
themselves are
shall not
fucking
be
bullshit.
infringed.
Because those amendments are fucking 200 years old, almost.
Yeah,
and
but
they
then
still
okay.
apply.
They literally said when they wrote the amendment, this should be rewritten every 20 years to apply to modern times. And we have not rewritten it once ever since then.
Well,
other
that
than
just means it's really
random
fucking
amendments
good.
like, hey, let's add this onto it. No, we need to fucking rewrite the entire fucking thing
Disagree.
at least every 20 years. And we need to fucking put people in the position to do so that are fucking worthy of doing so.
Yeah,
right
not
now we're
a bunch
fucking
of
putting people in a
80-year-olds.
position that are not fucking worth shit. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't vote for him if he was the last fucking candidate on earth. Fucking why is this an option?
Can you guys hear me?
Barely.
My power went out.
Oh shit. Well, I only have
So I'm
one
on
more
my phone
subject
now.
anyways, so the last one just says the 10 types of people. Nick, god damn it, where'd you go? It says the 10 types of people who shouldn't set foot inside a Costco. I mean, can we name 10 types of people that should not set foot inside a Costco?
No, I saw some shit about this, and there was a dude that's like, I walk to the grocery store to buy my groceries, and I pay fucking, I don't know, $20 more for my groceries than somebody that fucking pays for a car, pays for insurance, pays for fucking tags, pays for all the bullshit so they can get a Costco membership and drive to fucking Costco and buy shit from Costco, and they saved fucking $20. But I literally walked across the street, bought groceries at a higher price, and walked back, and I did not have to pay any of that. And it's like, you have a very fucking valid point, my dude.
I mean, but what about the hot dogs, first off? The hot dogs that are 75 cents or whatever. They're dank. Let's be serious. Are you still there, Cinders?
Yeah, I'm still here.
I'm not gonna lie, I've never been to a Costco. So
Are
I
you
don't know.
serious? Secondly,
I saw it in a movie once. It's
the
very
samples,
cheap.
bro, the samples, they taste so good because they're free, except for the membership fee that you fucking pay, which is fucking, it's just dumb. But yeah.
Which covers the hot dogs and then some.
Yeah, well, yeah, no. But yeah, I don't know. Costco's all right, but then again, it's just like you only go there if you need like a ton of something. So like the only time I would ever actually go there as a person living by myself, I would go there to buy toilet paper and paper towels, and then the rest of that money would just go towards like, I don't know, like chicken. The rest of it, I don't care. I don't need like 500 frickin' cans of tomato soup. I just don't need it. What?
Tomato soup?
Yeah, dog. I mean, it is good.
That's poverty food.
Well, I mean, it would last a long time.
Motherfucker, I was raised on grilled cheese and tomato soup.
Dude, I'm not talking shit on it. I'm
Campbell's
just...
tomato soup.
Oh, and it's fucking delicious.
No,
Don't get me wrong.
I ate fucking mustard sandwiches, bro.
Bro, that is some struggle. That is a struggle sandwich.
My mom used to make SOS. When
Dude,
I was a
I
kid.
love that shit. That shit is
And that
dank.
shit is called shit on a shingle.
Oh no, what happened?
What the fuck? You're alive?
He's alive, but
It
now...
took like 2 hours, but you came to life, and I'm so like I'm horny right now.
Ooh. Well, now I gotta hold. Oh
I'm scared
no!
now.
Nobody
God damn
got,
it! All right,
nobody
I'm
got to
out.
see you. Yeah. Well, that was the last story I had anyways. So anybody got any fun facts they learned or something they want to add or talk about, or what we got, boys?
Well, I kind of liked our last conversation. I thought it was interesting, but we didn't get to continue it.
Oh, well, we can continue. I mean, are you talking about the
Well,
Guns are bad, drugs are good. Bottom line.
no, I was talking about the Constitution. Like,
Oh god. We
some
can go
interesting
on.
conversation. If it's because I partly agree with what Nick is saying about it being old
I do.
and not, and it's there's no magic sauce on the Constitution that makes it correct. The parts of it that are correct are, it's not the Bible,
Yeah, no,
but
I agree.
the government, in my opinion, because the government is within those confines, they can't violate them because they're
Mhm.
their own rules.
Which
So,
is the
like,
nice thing that we have in America that a lot of places don't have the convenience of having.
if those are their own rules, and the only thing between totalitarianism and the government doing whatever the fuck they want is those rules, they breaking them completely nullifies their authority. So, like, if the Second Amendment, even if it isn't perfect, says shall not be infringed, which taken literally means you can't infringe, you can't tell me anything, and they come and say you can't have that thing, that's an infringement, and therefore they're wrong. They no longer have authority. They're just some dudes
Where do
coming to
you
steal my
draw the
shit.
line though? Like technology is gonna advance beyond the point of what fucking the forefathers could even predict. Like
Yeah.
Well, I for
to the
sure
point where
understand that, but
we have 200
what,
round magazines and bump stocks that can
well,
turn any firearm into a fucking deadly fucking machine gun like the military has.
well, I would draw the line at military equipment due to the fact that
Oh no, he has the Rona.
the
He's
intent of the
dying.
Second Amendment, as written, and if you interpret it through the lenses of history, was to protect the citizens from government tyranny. So the idea was the government can't come in and do whatever the fuck they want because if they overstep too much, the citizens
Yeah, but the
can
issue there
stop
is
them.
back then governments would do whatever the fuck they wanted. Like
Well, we just got done
now there's
fucking
You're
like
with the
saying
Geneva
British.
well
conventions and
no, I
shit
was about
that
to
fucking
say, dude,
hold governments accountable.
you
So
don't you
Well,
don't
that
think
shit
well,
didn't exist back
you
then.
don't
We
think the
well,
gotta
government
that,
adapt
doesn't
to
do
the
whatever the fuck
times.
it wants to now?
Oh, it
hold on,
does,
Nick.
but on a worldwide basis, and that's a whole
I,
nother
I,
problem. But
I had
fucking
a point there, Nick. This was right after we just got done telling the government to fuck off, and they didn't, so we fucking killed them. And then
Yeah.
we started our own country, and then we made an amendment we made a constitutional.
we didn't
We
kill all
and
of them. We just fled, and we fled to this
we
other
fled.
country where we're like, these are our rules now. But now we have the
No, what
same
happened
rules
was
as they do. It's like we're all
what.
in the same
No.
fucking boat, being controlled
So
by the
what
same fucking
happened for the
people.
Revolutionary War is actually that we came here as a British colony under British rule, and the British government kept taxing too high, making their own rules, and not allowing us
And
to
we
be
said fuck
independent.
you and set their tea on fire.
Well, we said fuck you. We set their tea on fire, and then we started shooting them when they wouldn't leave us alone. And the whole point there is that at a certain point, when the government will not stop infringing your rights and will not stop asking them, won't help, and
Mhm.
voting won't help. And at a certain point, you have to go, I'm physically going to harm you if you try to hurt me anymore.
Yeah.
I
And
will physically.
the reason they did that was because of forced religion,
Yep.
forced taxes, and fucking control. Like we ran away from it all, and we were like, "No, fuck you, we will not do that." And now here we are in the same fucking boat with them. Like, yep, this is
Kind
where
of.
we are. Like,
Well,
well, I'm
taxes.
sorry we ran away from you and tried to fight you, but let's all join up together.
Yeah, no, I don't
Well, like
know.
my
Sorry, go
point
ahead.
is now. My point is now there are situations where the Second Amendment isn't even being used. Because, for instance, I saw a video. This guy went. He passed by a church. They had a traffic cone sitting in the middle of a road. They had a sign on it. He ran up and knocked on the church's door and goes, "Hey, get your traffic cone out of the road. You can't leave shit in the road." And then left after scolding them. Then the two cops show up to his house, just walk in his front door, slap his phone out of his hand, and then start yelling at him. He should have shot that cop. That cop should be dead.
Yeah,
should
I
not.
agree.
That is called assault, breaking and entering.
Yep.
That cop should have been shot on the spot.
That
But
is
the
leading towards fucking cops having or thinking they have privileges that they should not have, which is a
Right.
Yeah.
very gray
Well,
area in this
what
country.
I
what I'm
agree.
Where
basically
cops
saying with
do
that
shit
is
that they
that
think they can get away with, even though it's completely outside of fucking rights. You should not
yeah,
be able to get away with that, but they're
yeah.
fucking getting away with it. Like,
And my point is that there's no accountability. Right now, it's getting to the point where the cops will do whatever they want, and the cops being the government, they will harm you, violate your rights, do whatever they want. They're legally immune from action,
Right.
and they have no incentive not to do it
You okay?
because they are the government.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm good.
realistically, they do for the most part what they're told, and they're told to
Yeah,
do
they
that
do what
by
they're
their
told.
higher ups, which are told to
Yeah,
do that from their higher ups, which are told to do
yeah,
that from their higher
Shit
ups,
rolls
which are told to
downhill.
do that from their.
yeah.
Yeah.
For sure, they're doing what they're told. Although I think a fairly large amount. I'm not even going to say a few bad apples. I think a fairly large amount of cops, not due to the fact that it's like
I
magic
mean,
they become a cop.
the,
They're a
if
piece
you
of
want to
shit.
refer to
They'll
bad
hire pieces
apples,
of
the
shit
issue
on
is the
purpose.
bad apple is at the top, and the bad
Yeah,
apple comes into
Yeah.
contact
but
with other apples and
and
fucking turns them into bad apples.
And
That's
now
like
and the
all the
that is what
apples
we're
have
facing.
monkeypox.
Like,
yeah, well, the bad apple hires other bad apples
Yep.
to be bad apples. So you wonder why you see so many cops who are just like fucking pieces of shit because they were hired for that reason. Because they
Right.
will do what they're told, even if it's wrong. But what I was saying is essentially the consequence of hurting people and violating their rights after a certain point needs to be being stopped. If that means getting shot, if that means getting the shit beaten out of you, it's either way. But at a certain point, you can't make people do things without physically making them.
Yeah.
And no amount of voting, crying, begging, protesting will overcome somebody, the government showing up to your door with guns and saying, do what we say or we kill you. You have to do the same thing back to them. So that's the whole point of the Second Amendment
Or else
is
we're
that, like,
giving up the whole country at that
if,
point.
because, like, the citizens, the government is ran by us. There
I
should
don't know.
be
You got to look at it at two different sides, though. You either have to enforce that policy and fucking change the people that are in power to people that are willing to fucking participate in what you're trying to achieve. And if you can do that, then you can pull it off. But if you can't do that and you have people doing whatever the fuck they want to do under that same umbrella, fucking, it's going to be a problem. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. And, well, in my mind, there's a lot to solve when
what I'm
people
getting
just talk
out of
about
this
limited
is the
government.
people that you put in power need to be fucking the people you want to put in power, not the
Yeah.
people that are, hey, you get this guy or this guy, and they're both gonna do the same shit, but fucking
Yeah.
pick between these two. Like, no, fuck you. I want my own decision there, and
That's how
that's
the
where the
whole
problem
government
lies
is.
with that entire fucking
Yeah.
subject. Like,
That's how
Well,
the whole
that's
entire
also
government is.
these are the people you can choose from that will do the same thing. So pick one of these fucking
Choose
people.
wisely.
No, I don't want one of those fucking people. I want fucking the dude that wears the fucking boot in the courtroom. The fucking what is
Oh,
his
Vermin
name?
Supreme.
Vermin Supreme.
Everybody gets a
Motherfucker, I want
pony.
Vermin Supreme fucking over the people that they're trying to be like, yeah,
Right.
you could pick these candidates.
Dude, his pony policy is on point. Just saying.
well,
But
my whole view on, like, um, where the valid, like, justification for government or anything where that comes from is not from democracy or from what everybody agrees on. It's from the basic fact that violence and hurting people is antithetical to being a human. You if you hurt somebody to stop them from doing what they're doing, living their life, you're stopping them from being a human, being alive. It's the complete, like, antithesis, like the negative
right, but that
of
this
what it means to be a person. So it's bad and it's necessary sometimes.
yeah, I was
But
gonna
what I'm
say
saying,
you have to understand that it's actually part of human nature too, which sucks, and I
yeah,
wish it wasn't that way,
it is.
but yeah.
So, like, it has to be controlled in a sense. You have to go and say, listen, committing violence against people is antithetical to being alive. Like, it's literally the opposite of what all humans want, and all humans
Right.
instinctively would seek is to be hurt and have violence committed on them. So that can't be allowed, which means you can't steal shit, you can't take other people's shit, you can't go kill them, you can't, you know,
You use them as
do all
slaves.
that
You
stuff.
can't rape them. You
Yeah,
can't. Yeah.
but on top of that,
At
it
this
also
point, I
means
don't care if
that
I live or die. I just want to have a purpose. And right now, I have no
yeah,
fucking purpose.
You are doing a purpose right now.
I'm doing
You're doing.
minuscule tasks for somebody that will make way more money than me because I am doing the fucking minuscule tasks for them.
I said you're doing a purpose. I just imagine you putting it in a blowhole of a fucking a dolphin.
No,
doing a
I am
purpose.
literally filling the pockets of the greedy fuck in charge of me. That's what I am doing.
Well, that's
Well,
That
in,
is what
an
everyone is
ideal,
doing. You're making
in an
money,
ide-
you're not making enough money, and you're making some other motherfucker rich. That's what you're doing. You're a fucking
I
slave.
I agree with that completely. In an ideal world, there wouldn't be any government licensing schemes or taxation schemes
Like
completely
I,
disallowing you from being able to start your own business or get into an
that's
area
what I
you want
feel
to
like
work
we
in.
need to do though. Like we need to go back to the barter system where it's like I can
yeah.
do this and you fucking need this, so you need
Yeah,
me. Like
yeah. You're
not
like
fucking I
I
can
can
make
make
this guy a bunch of money so he'll keep me under his
yeah.
umbrella. So
Well, that's
Yeah.
the thing is like that's how it would be ideally. You're like I can provide you this thing you want. Give me
if
this
you
thing
need
I
this
want.
thing, I can make that thing.
Mm.
But
Fucking,
but
it's
now
gonna
it's
cost
like
you because I need this and I can give you this. So
Yeah.
let's
but
fucking
now
make a trade, not
it,
fucking what we're living under. Like it's fucking
yeah.
tyranny.
Well,
It's
now it's like
slavery.
I
Like
can make this thing you want, and then they're like, cool, and you're like, well, first I got to go ask permission to make it, and then I got to go have upfront half of the cost, half of the profit I'm going to make to pay for it in taxes anyway,
I
and
mean,
then I need to
I'm
wait
sorry.
2 years to be allowed to make it, and then you're like, I actually can't do this because I'm going to die of starvation because I'm
right.
not going to get my money in time. So
Yeah.
like they really fuck with industry
Well,
and
not just
disallow
that.
people from
I highly disagree with taxes. I wish the government would just stay out of our lives as much as humanly
yeah
possible. And the taxes are just so fucking out of control anymore. It's ridiculous. It's like you literally get taxed to death. Like if you die, you get taxed, and then they tax your taxes. Like it's just we're to the point where it's like there were wars fought over a tax raise on tea. Like that's how it used to go, and now we're over here like, yes daddy, I'll go ahead and pay my taxes on the taxes that you already taxed me. Like it's just fucking ridiculous anymore, and there needs to be a point where we need to say, all right government, like you're useful for a few fucking things, but that's all I need you in my life. I don't
yeah
need you to tell me how to live. I don't need you to tell me what I can and can't do. And if I do anything fucking stupid, I'm either going to get shot or there's going to be consequences for the stupid shit. A lot of people don't realize
yeah.
that, but that's, I mean, that's just what
I
I
would
think.
contest that they're useful for something. I don't think they're useful for anything.
They're not very okay, let me correct myself. There's very, 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 very few things that they're not good at anything. They can't even run a fucking DMV correctly. Let's be serious. But they are necessary for a few things, and I personally I think, and that's just like we do
Yeah.
need police, or we need some kind of something to uphold rules, because we can't have no rules or else things are just going to go off the rails. I mean,
Yeah.
I just think that's the way it is, and I hate that it's that way. I wish everybody was
Yeah.
smart enough to just say, "Hey, like we all need to get along, and you can work with me, and I can work with you." But there's too many fucking devious people out there that are going to try to fuck people over
Yeah.
or hurt them, or
Well,
But
I certainly agree we need rules. We don't need rulers, and we don't
yes,
need centralized. We don't need one sort of body that controls the rules in my mind. Like the government saying,
right.
"We have a court and these are the rules," and you go, "I have a court and my rules are the same as yours. We agreed on them. It's human rights." And they go, "We're going to shoot you if you do your court because it's not ours."
Yeah,
That's
like
fucking stupid.
they just
Uh,
listen to that and go, "Well, that's cute and all, but how about not?" you know?
yeah, and it's like, well, I can uphold, my own rights just like you can.
Yo,
Like, you should stop me if I'm hurting other people and not respecting their rights. But if I'm respecting their rights and mine, what right do you have to stop me from doing it? And they'll be like, well, we just arbitrarily decided we're the rules.
yeah,
You're not the rules. So it's kind of sketchy, like, where the government's authority comes from. Is it just the first person who says they're the government?
yeah.
Or is it because it's right?
Well, the worst part about it is that's the whole reason we fucking left England and all that bullshit in the first place is because we didn't want to fucking deal with this kind of shit, and here we are dealing with that kind of shit. But I don't know. It's
Yeah.
I all I'm hearing is we need to just build log cabins in the woods and just get away from the government. Even though, like, have you heard, like, there's a dude who literally did what I'm saying. He built his own place in the woods to get away from the government, like self-sustaining, didn't have to go to the stores, didn't do anything. He just self-sustained for years and years and years. And then the government went out, found him, and arrested him and put him in jail for, like, God knows how long because, well, you just weren't paying for, like, how, where do you draw the line on this kind of shit? You know?
Yeah.
But
It's a life claim at that point. Like, you exist, you owe me money.
yeah, exactly. And how are we gonna say that's freedom? Like, what is freedom at that point? Because that dude was as free as it fucking gets. Like,
Yeah. Well, he didn't want to pay for services he didn't need.
right.
They're like, well, we have the military, the police.
You
this service,
live
that
inside
service.
of this fucking circle, so
Yeah,
sorry,
he's like,
you
"But I
have
didn't
to
even
pay
need
us
to use
money.
that. Nobody knew I was there. I wasn't going to get invaded by North Korea. I never called the cops. Why do I owe you money for shit I don't use?" They're
Yeah.
like, well, because you're fucking alive and we said so, and we're the magical people that were here first and said we're in charge.
Yeah. It's
We
arbitrary
have blue
fucking
costumes
nonsense.
That's the
on.
world we
This is-
live in.
But well, guys, we've been going off for an hour 40. It is 8 o'clock. I have to eat and wake up early in the morning, but this has been a wonderful conversation. And
I don't know
yeah,
if I would call
enjoyed
it
it.
wonderful, but it has been full of wonders.
yes, for sure.
I thought it was wonderful. I'm sorry if it seemed like I was shitting on you, Nick. I wasn't trying to.
I get shitted on a daily basis. You're not my first fucking shitter, so
Well, all
I
that
thought
said,
it was engaging.
yeah, no, it's all in good faith. Nobody's mad at each other. I'd never be mad
yeah,
at
I
you
don't give a
guys.
shit.
So
You can call me anything you want to call me, and I'll call you in the morning.
yep. All right, boys. Well, we're getting off of here. I will talk to y'all